Hey everyone, it's Emran. You know, I love chatting with people, whether it's on my show or just bumping into someone at the grocery store. Ever walk into a room full of people and suddenly feel like you forgot how to talk? We've all been there. Small talk doesn't have to be scary. In this video, we're covering phrases to help you make small talk like a pro and yes, like a native speaker. Okay, first things first, breaking the ice. You don't need a big opening line, just something simple and friendly. Try starting with something about the event itself, like, "This is a great turnout, isn't it?" Or, "The food here is amazing, see, easy peasy." Another great trick is to ask a question. People love to talk about themselves, so give them an opening. You could ask, "Have you been to one of these events before?" Or, "What brings you here today?" And hey, if you're feeling really brave, try a compliment. Something like, "That's a great tie," or "I love your earrings." Can really brighten someone's day and get the conversation flowing. Remember, the key is to be genuine and approachable. Smile, make eye contact, and just relax. You got this. All right, so you've broken the ice. Now what? This is where finding common ground comes in. Think of it like building a bridge between you and the other person. Once you've chatted a bit, try to find something you both connect with. Maybe you both love dogs, or you're both from the same hometown, or you both can't stand the traffic. Whatever it is, finding that shared interest gives you something to talk about and helps you build a connection. Instead of, "Do you like to travel?" try, "What's your favorite place you've ever traveled to?" Open-ended questions invite longer, more interesting answers. And don't be afraid to share a little about yourself too. Small talk is a two-way street, and sharing your own experiences helps build trust and rapport. Chapter 3. Active listening phrases. Sometimes the best conversationalists aren't the ones who talk the most, but the ones who listen the best. Active listening shows the other person that you're genuinely interested in what they have to say, and that makes them feel valued. Make eye contact, nod your head, and use little phrases like, "That's interesting," or "Tell me more," to show you're engaged. Another great trick is to paraphrase what the other person said. This not only shows you're paying attention, but it also gives them a chance to clarify if you misunderstood something. You could say something like, "So you're saying that," or, "If I understand correctly." Remember, active listening isn't just about hearing the words, it's about really absorbing what the other person is saying and responding in a way that shows you care. Chapter 4. Making smooth transitions. Sometimes conversations hit a lull. Maybe you've exhausted a topic, or maybe you just feel like it's time to move on. Instead of letting the conversation awkwardly fizzle out, use a transition phrase to smoothly steer it in a new direction. One of my favorite ways to do this is by connecting the current topic to something else. For example, if you've been talking about the weather, you could say something like, "Speaking of rain, it reminds me of this time I got caught in a downpour," and then launch into a funny anecdote. You can also use transition phrases to ask follow-up questions. Let's say you're talking about someone's job. You could say, "That sounds fascinating. How did you get into that line of work?" See, seamless transition. The key is to make the transition feel natural and effortless. Avoid abruptly changing the subject that can come across as rude. Instead, find a way to bridge the gap between the two topics. Chapter 5. Ending the conversation politely. All right, you've mastered the art of small talk. You've chatted, you've laughed, you've made a new friend, maybe. But now it's time to wrap things up. Start by giving a signal that you're about to wrap things up. You could say something like, "Well, it's been lovely chatting with you," or "I should let you get back to your day." This gives the other person a heads up that the conversation is coming to a close. Next, reiterate something you enjoyed about the conversation. It could be as simple as, "I really enjoyed hearing about your trip," or "Thanks for the great book recommendation." This leaves the other person with a positive feeling. Finally, end with a polite closing statement. A simple "It was great meeting you," or "Have a wonderful day" works perfectly. And if you want to stay in touch, this is the time to exchange contact information. Ending a conversation politely shows respect for the other person's time and leaves a lasting positive impression. And there you have it. With these phrases and a little practice, you'll be making small talk like a natural in no time. Remember, the key is to be yourself, be genuine, and most importantly, have fun with it. Who knows, you might even make a new friend or two along the way. Hit like if you found these tips useful and subscribe for more ways to boost your English skills.